Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for December 2024. This month, we're going to jump right in here. You have this Observe card and this New Life card. I love this card. This lady, I think you had this card with me recently as well. But this lady is being lifted up on this pedestal here into a new life, obviously. And, I think that with Pluto finally leaving your sign, you probably do feel like it is a new life in the month of December, or you probably do feel like things are changing finally for you, which is a good thing. You have the Five of Swords, Five of Wands, and Seven of Cups. So the Five of Swords can represent winning at all costs. The Five of Wands can be a card of conflict and competition. But the Five of Swords is coming up above the Five of Wands. And I kind of feel like you are overcoming some sort of competition, or it's like it's almost like you're standing out in some way. I don't feel too bad about it, but what I would say is I would definitely be careful of conflict and competition at the end of the year here. We have Mars going retrograde, and Mars retrograde is kind of tricky with things like conflicts and competition because, we have all these retrogrades and you have the Seven of Cups. And so the Seven of Cups can say, like, avoid conflict where you don't know all the details, because the Seven of Cups can be an illusion. And in your first row, which is your current general energies, it says that maybe you are conflicted about doing something, or maybe you are in a conflict, with people or your job, or maybe you're conflicted about your next steps in your life, which is kind of what I feel this reading is saying, is that you're conflicted about the journey that you're about to go on. The reason I say that is because we go from Seven of Cups to Knight of Wands to the Ten of Swords. It's almost like you're fearing the end of something before it even happens, is kind of the energy I get. That Ten of Swords is coming up in the area of messages from your future self. And so what it could be saying, Seven of Cups, Knight of Wands, Ten of Swords, is that you are fearing the end of something before it even happens. And I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm getting. So I would say that the Five of Swords can actually ask you to put your swords down. It can say that, well, you don't really know how something is going to turn out, so you have to kind of like go on the journey and find out. And I feel the Five of Swords is almost encouraging you to take a risk. The Five of Swords is my card of risk-taking. The Moon card is a risk. The Moon is also fears, fantasies, illusions. And with the Moon card, it is a temporary period of time. The Moon comes up, then the Moon goes down, the Sun comes up. So the Moon is part of the Fool's journey. He needs to get to these mountains at the back of the Moon card, and then the Sun will come up. So I think for a lot of you that the first two rows here, and also plus the Ten of Swords, are really talking about journeying into the unknown. You have the Five of Wands. Again, Five of Wands can be conflict or competition. For the most part, I would avoid conflict at the end of the year with Mars retrograde. Again, it's never a good time to take part in conflict. And, if you are involved in a conflict, again, what I'm trying to spit out here is that there are some times in life, like, I understand that, yes, there are some conflicts that we can't avoid. So if you are dealing with a conflict that you can't avoid, the Five of Wands asks you to be more kind of like not passive, but asks you to, kind of take the high road in the conflict, let's put it that way, in whatever conflict you are dealing with, and to not get too sucked into it. So if you are dealing with something, then that's what I'll say there. I also feel like some of you, again, are just conflicted about a dream with the Seven of Cups, like, do I, don't I move towards this thing? And I think that the Seven of Cups says that you should go on the journey, especially if you're like not sure what will happen if you start that business, or if you take that new job. And I feel the Seven of Cups is saying that you have to make the moves. But we're going to clarify this, and let's see if we can get more detail. It's like, you are being called to something. You have the Judgment card here, and so you might be conflicted about something that you are being called to do. With the Five of Swords, you have the Magician. Yeah, the Magician is about reinventing yourself, or kind of like changing yourself in some way. Really, I don't think that's accurate to say that about the Magician. It's like he might be reinventing himself, but it's not like he's faking it. I think sometimes people think like, oh, if I change myself, then I'm not going to be who I am. But that's not true. The Magician really focuses on his inner truth, and he might let certain parts of himself out. He's pointing to the Moon card, right? And he might let certain parts of himself out that have been like dormant or haven't been, that he hasn't revealed to the world. And so, there might be parts of you that you are revealing to the world. And on the moon card, we have this lobster there, and the lobster is wearing its armor. It's wearing, it represents emotional armor on the moon card. And, it basically says a lobster, he's coming out onto land, the lobster, and it's like he can't really move around. Like if you've ever seen a lobster on land, they can't do much. So it kind of says we have to release our emotional armor, or we have to release the need to protect ourselves so that we can have something great. And again, based off the last 20 years, it makes perfect sense to me that you would be trying to protect yourself, right? But things have changed, and now it's kind of like safe for you to not be so protective over yourself, is what I feel like that's saying. With the Five of Wands, you have the Three of Cups. I think you've probably learned a lot about people, as most people have in 2024. 2024 was really, and is still, I mean, we're still in it, but, really is a year where I think people are learning about people and, like how they are, and the truth about people, as in like what people's nature is. And so the Five of Wands is conflict, but the Three of Cups, these three people are celebrating. And so maybe you have experienced conflicts with people in 2024, but now you're finding out like who are the right people that can help you on your journey, especially with the Knight of Wands right here. It's like you're learning about who are those people that like really support you. Yeah, with the Seven of Cups, you're going to have strength to accomplish whatever this Seven of Cups dream is. The Strength card really does say that you've done a lot of work on yourself. Like you have done the things necessary to be successful. She is taming that lion, so she has done a lot of... That lion represents her inner voice. She has to convince herself that she should go on this journey. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you have this alpaca. It says purposefulness, willpower, and stamina. You have this rat. It says shrewd choices, reproduction, and agility. Knight of Wands also represents agility, being able to make changes very quickly, being able to move very quickly as well. The alpaca said, I mean, you are a Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of like willpower, not giving up, things like that. And, most Capricorns I know have great stamina as well. They just keep working on things. And I think that the moon, the moon's journey kind of requires all of those things. Agility, also kind of willpower, purposefulness, and stamina. So those are the four words that I was looking for here. And, we also have to release our emotional armor. On top of that, we have this dog and wolf, or the dog and coyote, whichever you prefer. So with these two cards, those two animals, the dog and the wolf, dog and coyote, we have to embrace like our domestic side and our wild side. We have to mix the two energies together. That's what they're warning the Fool about. They're saying like you have to have both of these energies to be successful on your journey. And so I think you have to mix those things together. The moon also says don't get distracted. These two pillars here, they represent a distraction to the Fool, and they kind of represent when we get close to something, sometimes we go and do something else, right? So it's like if you've ever been working towards a goal and then you decide, I'm going to go change my goal. I'm going to do something else. So the moon really wants us to see something through to the end. It wants us to not give up before we climb that mountain and get our reward. And so I feel this is kind of saying like, don't give up on whatever, whatever it is, whatever your vision is for your life. Or if I kind of feel like some of you are trying to accomplish something specific here in your life. And so I would say don't give up on that. You have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, again, I think you're going to have people, like I said, if these hidden parts of yourself are being revealed to the world, or if you're showing the world who you really are with that the magician pointing to the moon, and you're revealing hidden parts of yourself, people might tell you that, you're different or you've changed. But again, I always say to those people, damn straight, I'm not the same as you. And I'm not always keeping my life the same like you. So I think that's what you should say. Like, yeah, I have changed. You're right. I've grown, unlike you. And that's it. That's all I would say with this Knight of Wands. You have the Magician. I feel like a magnet here, Capricorn. I feel like you are being pulled towards something, or pulled in a direction, or something has like captured your attention. We even go up to the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a great card for love, but Two of Cups really is you and your higher self. And this right here is your higher self angel on the Judgment card. The Judgment card, the higher self angel is calling these people up out of these coffins, and the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life, and so they're being called into a new life. With the moon, you have the Chariot. So the Chariot is a victory. The Chariot is about willpower as well, which that alpaca card said willpower on it. So with the Chariot is a great card, willpower. It says where there's a will, there's a way. So if there's something you want to accomplish, definitely don't give up, because you will have a victory in the near future with this Chariot card. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Lovers. Some of you could be fearing love here. Like I said, I feel like this is a future fear. It's like you're fearing something is going to end before it even starts. And so for those of you that want love, it's like you could be like saying to yourself, what's the point? Because I'm just gonna get stabbed in the back like all the other ones. And I think if you believe that, then it's true. But I also think you have the opportunity, this reading is saying you have the opportunity to change that belief and to like work together with a person with the Three of Pentacles, and or to just change it all the way around. So, I think some of you, this is about like a mindset change in connections. Doesn't even have to be love. Again, with the Five of Wands and Three of Cups, this could just be about people in general. It's like maybe you worked with a lot of people and maybe they always burn you or stab you in the back. And this is saying, well, like what haven't you paid attention to that you need to pay attention to, right? With the Judgment card, you have the King of Cups. Again, emotional armor. He is not wearing emotional armor, but he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. So he doesn't wear emotional armor because he understands his emotions on a very deep level. He's sitting in choppy waters, but he's perfectly fine. He's not worried about what's going on around him. And so again, I think a lot of you might be working towards this energy of like not even needing to protect yourself, as contradictory as that sounds, because it's like at a certain point, if we explore our emotions, there is no need to protect ourselves because we understand how we feel about everything. And then we can control our emotions in a good way, in a healthy way. Again, I always say it's not that he's not feeling his emotions. He just understands them and he's able to process them. So he doesn't worry about, like what could happen. He's not worrying about like what ifs or future outcomes or anything like that. He's just sitting in the present and he is enjoying the moment. And he understands that that's all he has to do is like enjoy this very second. And, then he just enjoys the next second and the next second, and he goes from there. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, it says, be bold, make the first move. You have this full moon in Capricorns as the end of a tough cycle approaches. You've been getting these cards a lot, the end of a tough cycle approaches. There's another card in this deck that I can't remember what it says, but it basically says the same thing, like your hard work is paying off, or something like that. So I think your hard work is definitely paying off at this time, and you're getting to the end of a tough cycle. The Ten of Swords, I kind of feel that, again, this is a future fear. He's making the symbol with his hands right here that represents a blessing. So the Ten of Swords can also represent a blessing in disguise or receiving a blessing in the future. So again, some of you could be receiving some sort of blessing after a difficult period of time. The other thing is that you could be seeing how all these difficult things here, like in this upside down L that we have going on, that all those tough lessons are adding up to something. The Ten of Swords can say that he's like finally realizing that everything he's been through is worth it. And I kind of feel that for you. With the Two of Cups, like I said, could be love, although I really feel like this reading is talking about you, Capricorn. I think it's saying that you are communicating with your higher self, or there's like some sort of magnet going on here where it's like you're feeling magnetically drawn to accomplish the Three of Pentacles here, going this direction. The Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. He has completed this work up here, and he has done a very good job. So I think a lot of you are being drawn to complete something or to, complete a project. The project could be you with the Magician card for sure. It could say that you have been working on yourself, and now you're presenting your new self, even though it's who you've always been. Maybe you've just been keeping it inside with that Moon card. And so I think you're completing yourself and you're putting yourself out into the world. You have the High Priestess. High Priestess says you need to trust your intuition. It is very intuitive time. So we still have Neptune and Pisces until the end of basically the beginning of 2026. So I would say that it is still a very intuitive time. I would trust your intuitive messages. I would also encourage you to push it a little bit more. The High Priestess is unlimited potential. She has no roof over her head. So the only limit to what she can accomplish is what is going on between her 2 ears. So there is something about mindset in this reading, as I already said, and I would work on, creating like an expansive mindset. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. Whenever I have the Eight of Swords with the Seven of Cups, it basically says to me, you could have something you want right now. And I know that sounds easy, and maybe it hasn't been that easy, but the Eight of Swords says that she is only focusing on one way to do things when there are many ways to do or accomplish what she's trying to accomplish. She just has to open up to other solutions. With the Two of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles. If you do want love, you could be communicating with a new person here. Page of Pentacles and Two of Cups together usually represents communication. So you might be meeting a new person in the future. With the High Priestess, you have the Empress. Empress is really good. Empress is, of course, you have twice, and Empress is total abundance or total success. It could also say that you're having a little bit of a glow up here by making these changes with the Magician that we talked about. So again, don't be afraid to shine your light. The moon would be dimming your light. The moon would be hiding in darkness, and the Empress would be saying like, no, it's time for you to like shine bright. And I think I've said this several times this year. So, I think it's definitely time to claim your place in the world, Capricorn, by shining your light. Empress can also say you're very attractive at this time. So if you want love, I would get out in public. Next, you have this Earth Spirit, which is you. You have this guidance, or this guide and protector card. You are being guided. You have the Judgment card, which would be your higher self, the Two of Cups as well. So I think your higher self is really trying to guide you towards something that you can work together on here with the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says, teamwork makes the dream work. So anything you can do to work on a project or an idea and get the right support, then I think things will go very well for you. This is, again, not really love reading, but if you do want it, it does show up here. And Three of Pentacles would be kind of like finding a person where this is like two people who are working towards the same vision. This is the vision right here. And so I think a lot of you could be finding that in the future. Three of Pentacles, like I said, is quality work. You could finally be being recognized for the work that you do. I think it's been hard for Capricorn work-wise. We've definitely talked about it before. Like if you do a lot of work on something, it's like you're probably not getting an appropriate result. You're probably getting less, right? And so I think one of the positive changes of Pluto going into Aquarius is you can like finally work on something and get what you deserve. And the Three of Pentacles with the Empress would also say your work is standing out, which is good. You have the Two of Pentacles. I think you need more fun because also on the Three of Pentacles, this lady has these polka dots on her cloak. Polka dots in the tarot represent taking things too seriously and needing to be more playful, but it's showing up in the good stuff, and you also have the Two of Pentacles in the good stuff. So Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard, and it might be saying that you need to be more playful or have more fun, basically. So I think that a lot of you are enjoying life more, or you will be. You have the Empress again. Like I said, a little bit of glow up energy here because of the change with the Magician and the Moon. And I think it's time for you to shine bright and to, put your skills out into the world. I think that you've been underestimated quite a bit as well. It's like people don't even, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I think people don't understand like the skills that you have, so especially in work or business, I do think, sorry, I have something in my eye right now, but, what I would say is that I think people don't see it because maybe you haven't put it on display yet, or you never have put it on display. So again, don't be surprised if people are surprised. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Four of Swords. Yeah, I think the end of the year here is great for resting, relaxing, recovering, gathering your energy, all that other good stuff. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is normally disappointment, kind of, because he has these three cups in front of him, and he's disappointed with what he's receiving, and he's getting this new cup reaching out of the cloud, but he's afraid to accept it because he's been disappointed 3 times before, but really it's coming up in the good stuff, so I think that you probably will be accepting this opportunity, or you will be accepting something that you've been hoping for, and this could be any type of offer. With the Empress, you have the Five of Cups. Again, disappointment, but the Five of Cups and the good stuff would say that you are being grateful. The Empress is a card of gratitude, and the solution to the Five of Cups is gratitude. So you have to be grateful for what you have. But again, it's coming up in the good stuff, so I feel like you are grateful for what you have. And that will probably just attract more good stuff. Can't make this up. You have this whale. It says, great worry over nothing. I definitely, literally, basically said that with this and also this upside down L that I was saying here, that this is you worrying about something in the future. I got that message right away in the reading. So I think that a lot of you need to let go of the fears, the worries, You have this dogs card. It says getting together with friends. And so Three of Cups, right? I think that you are surrounding yourself with people who are more supportive and better. You have this apple. It says temptation will test you. Yeah, Mars retrograde. We have Mars going retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. Mars retrograde is kind of like notorious for temptations and being tempted. And it just basically says don't. And so if there's some sort of temptation, it could be anything. Just don't fall into temptation and you'll be fine. You have this vulture. It says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Again, very Mars retrograde energy. During Mars retrograde, we can be like working on a project and we can be like, oh my God, all these people are coming at me, or people are going to hate this, or people aren't going to be receptive to what I'm working on, all that type of stuff. So very Mars retrograde energy. And I would just tell yourself it's Mars retrograde. It's not real. It's imaginary, right? You have this egg. It says success assured with good plans and hard work. And again, I would just keep working towards whatever you're working towards with that Three of Pentacles, and I feel like you'll be fine. So pretty interesting here. Capricorn looks good. I think there's a lot of abundance for you if you get away from those worries, but other than that, looks good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.